What's good, guys? Charles again, coming at you with another post-commentary duel video from our locals Friday night. I have a few more feature matches coming up, but this is just the one that I ended up recording myself. It's pretty much the good old Fury French boys versus Fire King, Snake Eyes, Azamina, how do you pronounce it? Azamina. He goes, draw phase wanted. We know that's really good, a really strong play, but we see him fire off Bonfire here. I'm looking at my hand. I think I have Ash and a Droll, so sadly this is playing right into Droll here. So he even makes the comment, he's like, dang, whoops. So it looks like he also has like Ash Imperm, which is really strong. No, he has Ash, yeah, he has Ash Imperm. So he goes ahead and uses the Witch, Sin Popular, to go and set. And I do believe, yeah, so he sets OSS. I think that's also, he has a Hard Open Deception as well, which I'm trying to see what he decides to do. Does he fire off Deception? No, he sets another, so he sets the Imperm. Maybe he just opened. So now we just got to play through Ash Imperm, essentially, is what we got to do. Which, as long as we sequence our plays. So we go draw phase, fire off the Wanted. I don't know if this was necessary for me to play through. I don't know. So it looks like I have cross out 2, and I had Ash as well. So we go pitching cross. I open 2 cross out. So yeah, so we go cross out, and yeah, we open 2 cross out. Dang. So we go Witch, pitch, effective Witch. He goes Imperm. We chain cross out because we open 2 to go ahead and get ourselves the set of ROSS, which is really nice here. So we're just going to now play through an Ash that we don't know. Almost set it in the Imperm column, but thank goodness I didn't. We go Heritage of Chalice. Attempt to add. Now looking at my hand, like this is kind of like important. If he would have flung the Ash here, I think he would have been in a better spot. But not knowing that he had Ash, I know that possibly playing at locals, everyone knows what my deck does. So I need to try and force more disruptions. So the fact that Heritage Chalice resolved could mean he's holding the Ash. So I grab Ogier here to go and normal summon to another bait for Ash. But 100%, I do believe if he would have flung Ash at the Heritage with my card in hand is my own Ash. So literally the battle plan would be to crash with would be crashing Witches. So he flings Ash at Ogier, which I'm like, sweet. We go Ogier effect. We go OSS now to go ahead and send off the Witch to go ahead and summon out the Ricky Ardetto. I do apologize for the glare, guys. The glare is just awful. I just can't beat it at table 1. There's one table in the entire locals that I can sit at, but I'm not gonna like if you guys will notice that when we stream and stuff like that, when I follow myself, it's pretty good, but like I can't just I don't want to like make the players have to do it. So we go Wanted to go ahead and put back and draw. I cannot wait for Wanted to go to literally 1. I know people are like, wait, what? Why? Because I draw 2 Wanteds so much that I'm actually to the point where it's like, put that thing at 1 just so I will, if I see 1, I know I'm going to see 1. So we end up going into Angelica to grab Museum, the same dance that we always do. I believe that Infernobles as a deck in this current format is, again, like just one of the decks that, like many others, as long as like they might not have their power level might be cut down compared to like YuGiOh, Snake Eyes, Azamina, and stuff like that, but with proper sequencing and technical play, I feel like the decks just really do a phenomenal job. And I go ahead and equipped the Almas to go ahead and special out the Turpin. I drew Turpin off of the Wanted draw to go into Charles, and Almas will add back Gearfried, and I think we just go ahead and go the effect of rolling to equip. And I think we just decide to pop the Witch, because I think I have the ability, since I special summon Turpin, I'm able to equip Turpin. So I'm going to get double Charles access here. To equip, we're going to go ahead and use Museum's effect to move forward, I believe. And we go and fire off Gearfried to go ahead and summon Gearfried. And then we go ahead and use Turpin's we're talking, I go Turpin effect to move forward. And then we just have game right here. Yeah, I didn't even make a second Charles because we're going second into that. Yeah, so now we're going up into game number 2. So game number 2 here, I think there was like, so a problem I have in my locals is I know that my deck takes a long time to play, and I am okay with giving other combo players like the time to sit and think, but when it comes to me, I'm like trying to rush just so I can for another Droll again. But I'm trying to rush so that I don't take up too much time, because I also know my deck loses in time because of Museum, so like I'm trying to rush through it. And I think I need just to take that extra 2 minutes that it would take in my game just to do appropriate lines and like play through, or like, forcing lines. Because right here, I draw, I don't think that there's any way. I redid this hand multiple times today before like voicing this over. And I think no matter what, I lose to Droll regardless. I have Wanted. Even if I went draw phase Wanted, I have Museum access. And Museum is going to search me Durandal, right? But on resolution, he draws me. So I still lose I still don't get access to what I'm going after. So, like, sad to say, at this hand right here, Droll just cooked me with. And there's not really much more I can do here. And I really think I'm trying to figure out what I can do to figure, you know, to play through it. I feel like, oh, maybe there's a way for me to get, like, an SP or something. And, like, push for something. But, like, SP's, like, my only route. And SP just feels bad, man, because SP there's very few games that I've summoned SP, and SP is one by itself. So I'm looking at his graveyard, so I know I need to get rid of the Hallowed Azamina, because that can be just added back, so that's why I was like, well, maybe SP Banish, that would be a good call. But, so we go Witch, Pitch, Imperm, which is horrible. Like, again, so hindsight looking back, I should have just Frame 1 Impermed, or I should have just, nah, there's just no way there's no way around it, I don't think. I hard opened OSS too, which is nice. So, like, literally, using the Witch to try and set was just a hard bait. So we go Museum, OSS Send to summon out Ricciardetto. I kind of wish Renault would have added back, like, I know Renault's, like, just adds back any Fire Warrior and any equip, but Renault, I feel like Renault would be cool if it could have added back any Noble Arms card as well. But we just go ahead and we make, you know, Anima going into our SP to go ahead. And I think about banishing Deception, but I was like, no, Deception's pretty solid. We'll banish the Hallowed Azamina. And right here we go. He draws for turn. He's literally on one card. He goes Wanted, and then he's going to be able to go Wanted to draw another one. But he's going to search the Witch. Witch is, like, Witch alone kind of just checks my SP, but it also checks him away. So he draws another card. So he has Witch and one Unknown in hand, and I think it's Kieran from what I can see here. I'm trying to remember also. But if he goes Witch, it activates Festa Witch, you know, we're just going to bob and weave, and that would be the perfect. So he does a really good job at playing around this SP to get the maximum benefit out of. But like I said, getting rid of the Hallowed Azamina was a pretty, like, the strongest hit I could have done with SP, I feel like. So we're going to see Pitch Witch. Is that what we're going to do? Yep, Kieran Pitch for Witch. He's not going to use the Witch effect, I believe. Or if he does, I go ahead and beam out of there. I think he does, because then... So that's why I looked through everything here, because I'm like, oh, well, if this is... So I didn't know he was on Fire King version this much. So calculating, right, I'm like, okay, so Popular's already used. He's going to go and grab OSS and set, and then he summons Ash. Ash can't grab Popular, and I was like, but, like, we're pretty good. Like, I was like, this is pretty solid. But he ends up going OSS, and this is why this deck just kind of drives me nuts in a way, because, like, this deck has, like, no restriction whatsoever to itself. Like, there's really no restriction. And that's same with YuGiOh. Like, you would think that, like, the YuGiOh deck being, like, Fiends and stuff like that would, like, Fiend lock you or something, but, like, the top decks right now just currently have no restriction on them, and that's just what allows them to utilize, like, all these crazy engines and stuff. Whereas, like, if you guys remember, like, formats long ago, if you activated one card or if you had a card on field, like, you were locked into a particular archetype, so it limited the type of, like, crazy stuff you could do, but these new decks don't have that. Snake Eyes has never been hindered by any type of restriction. Same with Fire King. Fire King, I don't think Fire King gets restricted either, which is kind of crazy. OTS pack, get nothing. But he ends up going to battle phase, and I believe I'm going to get a good draw, not a good draw for turn. I think I rip Droll, and then I try to get my wanted draw, and I rip, like, something even worse. But Kieran, again, I think Kieran is probably the most insane card. It's insane that Shivara of the Unchained is at 1, but Kieran still exists, and Kieran's, like, I think, in my opinion, like, 10 times more crazy than Shivara, but yet, you know, Konami and their wise choices. So I ended up drawing 2 cards. I think I draw an Ash, or maybe it's Imperm and Droll is all that I have. Yeah, it's just Imperm and Droll, and that's going to do me nothing. SP ain't going to be able to do enough here. Like, SP, I guess, technically, I know I said in the video, like, SP's never done anything, so SP held the line, you know, but drawing into literally just 2 hand traps is not too solid, man. Especially with Arvada being the monster and get out there to check my one effect. So we just go, I show my hand, I'm like, yeah, we just go ahead and go to that game number 3. So we go into game number 3 here, that all-important game number 3, where I know his board breakers are coming in, and I know that, you know, he knows the ring's coming in, or maybe he does, I'm not too sure. So we get to go into, you know what I've also liked to know, like Malgus. I think I saw Malgus in my hand. Malgus has like been so faithful, and I admire him to always be here in my hand, but he needs to go, man. He just needs to go. So we end up normal summon Uppercutter, grab Spar, make Dempsey. Dempsey's effect to go ahead. This hand's actually pretty goated. I think I had the possibility to play through like 2 or 3 disruptions. But so we end up going into, no, the same line, dude. We're going to go into the armor stuff, go ahead and detach 2 to go ahead and search the trap, and the equip spell, which is really nice. But actually yesterday at locals, or I should say yesterday, but at Friday at locals, I increased my card count to 43 cards to add in the impulses and stuff like that. Shout out to my man Caleb for letting me borrow those because I didn't realize they jumped up to like $80 per copy. But I was playing, and like I have a 5% chance to open both armor cards, and like literally the last game of the night, I draw both armor cards, and it's against Volcanic FTK that ends up just... Volcanic's the bane of my existence. Like, the deck is wild in the sense that it just whoops me. Like, it's just crazy. 18 non-engine, and I don't see a single one, and I see the 2 bricks that I, like, have a smaller percentage to see, and I just get cooked by, you know, burning myself. But anyway, it's all right. We end up going into second Charles effect. As you guys saw, we hard opened Roland there, so we just go ahead and equipped it to be able to do that. Get access to Angel Ring. Banish for Gear Freed set to, I believe we set, it's the XYZ armor and a crossout as well. Which in this matchup, crossout's really good since I didn't go down a witch line. I can just use this to like call, you know, potentially go after OSS or go after the Wanted or the Witch itself, which is really nice. But since he's playing the Azamina stuff, I feel like it kind of, you know, like he's not always going to set OSS, so I probably should. But looking at his hand, man, I see literally 4 spells and a trap card, and I think he just ripped evenly. Huh. No, wow, that's insane. He's going to go draw phase Wanted. I have to respond with Charles to go ahead and stop it so that my Angel Ring can hit like a board breaker. But, and maybe we'll draw something off of this. I think I have Ash in hand as well. So maybe I'm hoping to draw like maybe Impulse or something, but I think I draw another Uppercut. No, I draw a Witch, I believe. Which is okay. So anyway, he goes Thrust, Radiant casts again, and he smacks me with a Dark Ruler, which is okay because this is why I really like the armor package, is because when these board breakers happen, we get to just go ahead and smack on Dark Knight Lancer. He goes Battle Phase, and I was like, okay, so in response to the Evenly, I'm going to go ahead and chain Crossout. And the reason I do this is so that I can stop OSS preemptively in case he has it. So I just go ahead and get rid of OSS, and then Wanted, if I draw to get access to it, which I can get access to Wanted through the Witch, I'll be able to do that. So we just banish everything but the Dark Knight Lancer because everything else was negated with Dark Ruler, so what's the point? We might as well keep our 1 disruption up there. So pretty much I have with the trap card, or Roland, I believe Roland can equip to it. I can't quite remember if Roland's like restricted to warriors, but I don't think so. He attempts to do the misplay on my part because I don't read. He activates the Hallowed Azamina, and I was thinking it was like Deception. For some reason, I was like, I'm going to Ash it. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, yeah, read this. And then I'm dyslexic, so I'm reading it. And I was like, yeah, do this. For some reason, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I can Ash this. It sends from the deck. And he's like, no, it doesn't. And I was like, kept reading. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't read. So he put it back. So he goes, Hallowed Azamina. I was like, wow. So now he knows I have the Ash, which kind of stinks. But he decides to go into the Reclia, I think is its name. And then he attempts to search. I just go and fling the Ash here at this. Maybe he should have gone for the Omni Negate, but that still wouldn't have got him really. The Omni Negate might have been better in this particular stance because of like what I have, but he ends up just setting 1 and passing during the in phase. I'm just checking, but I just want to make sure like all this stuff can activate. I don't want like main phase only. I go ahead and use the Armored XYZ, banish itself to equip the Dark Knight with Dempsey. It'll gain the attack of Dempsey and allows me to attach. I'll attach directly. And then now we're pretty much off to the races. I draw for turn, and now I just got to put damage on board. So I have like a 40 or 51 or 5200 Dark Knight Lancer, so I really just got to get 3000 more attack. That's all I got to do is find 3000. I have Witch in hand. I think I have Uppercutter as well, and I drew another Ash for turn. So like I have damage, just trying to see it and get there. And I kind of see it because I'm like, okay, there's no point in going any crazy combo. So I normal summon Uppercutter, don't want the effect, equip Roland to it, and then I'm going to use the Witch, send the Roland to summon, and then right here is enough for game by itself, which is going to set, and pretty much we're just kind of like off to the races. And that's what I'm telling him. It's like, yeah, this guy's 51, and they're 52, I think, and then 25 and 16 is more than enough for damage. So we're doing the math right here. Swinging in for 76, and yep, that is it for the game. So we take this one at local. Stay tuned for more videos. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.